The man from the land down under, a former NXT Tag Team Champion who recently competed in the WWE Cruiserweight Championship Tournament on 205 Live. It's Buddy Murphy. Thank you, Buddy. I want to start here talking about your better half, so to speak. Tell us, how is Larry Steve doing?
He's going well. He's going very well. He's a little bit bigger now than probably when people have seen him last. So he's quite the big boy today.
Buddy, you're from Australia, and I'm curious. Could you bring Larry Steve to Australia, or would they want to eat him?
They probably want to eat him. So I'd probably get in some trouble trying to protect him. But I wish I could bring him to Australia on a little vacation, but I'm sure that customs and immigration will kind of have a little problem with that.
All right, buddy. So what are the current plans for Buddy Murphy and WWE? NXT, tag team singles, more with the Cruiserweights and 205 Live. What's happening?
Man, I'm really enjoying the new little adventure in the singles and the 205 Live. The 205 Live kind of it suits my style a little more. It being a bigger guy than most of them, it also works in my favor. Dropping the weight, obviously not an easy task, but it gives me that advantage in the ring. And I enjoy it. I enjoy getting in there with 205's best athletes, some of the best athletes in the world. So, the future looks bright to me, and I'm looking forward to the future. Just one day at a time, one step ahead of the other. So, man, I'm just kind of looking forward to the future and just seeing what comes my way.
Buddy, did you have to give up any foods or any special diet?
Yes, on a crazy strict diet at the moment. I'm only really eating about 2,000 calories a day. So I love my Chipotle and I love my fast food, my pizza. So I had to kind of give up that for a while now. So because I've only got the 2,000 calories to eat, so I'm very cautious, and I measure all my meals, make sure I can eat as much as possible within that calorie range. But it's difficult, but it's also challenging, and it makes it a little fun because I'm a big fan of keeping myself busy and challenging myself.
Speaking of Chipotle, which is very good, by the way, NXT will be in Fort Pierce at the Havert L Fenn Center, which is near a Chipotle. What can you tell fans? What can they expect about the NXT show at the Havert L Fenn Center, and what does that center mean to you? Because I'm sure you've competed at that venue.
I have. I actually had my very first NXT match there, quite a while back. So, NXT is the third brand of the WWE. It's up there right next to Raw and SmackDown. You're going to get some of the best athletes in the world at Fort Pierce, and it's a show that you're probably not going to forget. Being there live is a lot different than TV. You get to actually kind of smell the wrestlers, as bad as that kind of sounds. But you get to smell it, you get to kind of feel it, you get to see it, and you get to interact with the wrestlers personally. And it's a great night, man. It's family friendly. And I can't really. Not much more than that, man. It's a good night. All of NXT enjoy performing in front of Fort Pierce, and and Fort Pierce enjoys us performing. So it'll be a good night of action, man. I hope everyone gets down there and checks it out, and has a great night out.
Buddy, geez, you had your first match there. What can you tell me? What do you remember? Do you remember who you competed against and what happened that night? I mean, was it so much excitement, nerves? What was that like?
Very nervous. Very nervous. I wrestled a guy called Sawyer Folk. He's no longer with the company, unfortunately, but he's going off doing bigger things. And but I was nervous, and I didn't get the victory, unfortunately, but. I've moved forward, and it was actually a singles match, and I wasn't really good at singles matches back then, but I've improved today. So, but it was nerve-wracking, man. But it was an awesome feeling. It's something I'm always going to remember. It was the first match. It was the first time I actually got to get my feet wet. So
Do you remember at all the fans, or you're just so focused on that first match that you don't even hear what they're saying and the reactions you're getting?
Yeah, well, that's kind of today. I don't really remember the fans. I was just, focused on the job at hand. But even today, the fans are such a big part, and when they are loud, and I can interact with them and have some fun with them, it's memorable, man. But my mind is focused on the job at hand, and it's to get that W. So I like crowd reactions. Gets me going, man. It actually helps a lot when the crowd's going, man, because you can kick out of some things that you didn't think that you could kick out of, and it keeps it going. It keeps it all interesting.
Well, speaking of fans, you returned to Australia. You were in Melbourne, Australia. You teamed with Ty Dillinger. You defeated Bobby Roode and Elias Sampson in your homeland. What was that experience like, and were you nervous even in that realm?
Yeah, probably more nervous than ever. Wrestling in front of my friends, family, and getting to wrestle in my home country with the WWE was a dream come true, and I wish we could do that more often. But obviously, it's a long way to go. But hopefully, I can do it again very soon, whether it's with NXT or with 205 Live or Raw SmackDown. It's definitely awesome to get back home and perform in front of my friends, family, and the country that I grew up in.
So Melbourne, when NXT then is going to Melbourne, Florida, is this like something that you really enjoy because it might remind you of Australia, or it's so different?
It's a little different. I say Melbourne a little bit differently than Americans. Americans are very Melbourne. I'm very Melbourne. So, it's the same, but not the same, if you know what I mean.
All right, I'll wrap this up. 2 more questions for you. Buddy, how did you get discovered by WWE, and what is wrestling like in Australia? Is it difficult to get noticed there? Is there a lot of wrestling there?
There is a lot of wrestling there. It's probably bigger now. Now that I've left, it's got bigger. But it's very hard to be scouted by WWE. But the opportunities are growing because WWE is branching out and willing to see the talent in Australia and countries all around the world. So it does give us a fighting chance. My start in WWE, I actually came over to Florida, Tampa actually. And I had a tryout with about 85 other people. It was a 4-day tryout. It was probably 4 days of the hardest training I've done in my life. It was like another experience that I'll never forget. It pushed you to places and push past boundaries that you didn't think you could push past. And it was after that 4 days, they sat us down, they thanked everyone, and out of the 85 people that were at this tryout, they said the person that they were offering the contract to was me. So obviously, when you're in there with another 85 people, you think that your chances or the possibility is a lot slimmer than if you're in there with 10 people or 5 people. So they said my name, and I was absolutely shocked. My jaw hit the ground, and I just remember kind of blacking out for a second, and I had one of my mates next to me who did the tryout with me hit me on the shoulder going, you did it. And it didn't really sink in, and I kind of told my parents, and that it's happening. It's happened. Everything that I kind of put my whole life on hold, and dropped a lot of things, relationships that all failed because of this dream, and it was like a click of the fingers. It just happened.